What's the first word that comes to your mind when you hear fish farming?
What is that?
Unhealthy.
Caged.
Business.
Overcrowding.
Organic.
Extinction.
Fish farming is one of the British Columbia's most dynamic and controversial industries. There are currently 50 fish farms operating on BC's west coast. Fish farming occurs when fish are raised in the pens in the open ocean, usually for human consumption. This imposes a monumental threat to the ecological sustainability of British Columbia's diverse natural ecosystems.
So I think farm fishing has a number of environmental issues associated with it. These pens, first of all, are not permanent structures. So there's lots of cases where you have basically pens that have breaches. The nets can be broken and they have to be constantly monitored for holes. And that creates an environmental problem because you have Atlantic salmon species being introduced to an environment where they're an invasive species.
The issues surrounding salmon farms are very complex with many stakeholders involved. With the escalation of aquaculture developments along the salmon migration route, the overall health of the natural salmon has steadily declined due to the sea lice, marine disease, chemicals being released, and the issue of salmon escaping the open net farms. The sea lice attack the young wild salmon's immune system and cause an early death. Fish farms depend on antibiotics and chemicals to keep their populations alive. However, this causes pollution and fosters the spreading of disease into the open ocean.
There are other, I would say, more pressing environmental concerns with farm fish. They basically, all the waste from the farms, because it's a very unnatural type of enclosure where fish are maintained in a very small area, very, very high fish densities. And as a result, the waste from that really destroys the ocean floor and can affect, cause water pollution in the region of the farms.
The British Columbia tourism industry depends on nature. Fish farming is not worth the risk of permanently losing one of British Columbia's most valuable natural resources. The trophic cascades that salmon loss would create would be devastating. Not only will the local residents be unable to purchase a wild salmon from its local distributor, but there will be no bears, orcas, or eagles for the tourists to come and see. It would not only harm British Columbia's coastal tourism attractions, but also its GDP. The nature-based tourism and sport fishing sectors make economic contributions to BC that far outweigh the contribution made by salmon farms.
We wonder, do those adults who come from the ocean, have they been affected by some of these diseases and things that happen in the farmed area? And are they bringing those diseases to these areas? And then if they do, and it causes a collapse of our salmon run, then a major tourism experience in the interior is the Adams River Salmon Run. We won't have that anymore. So a lot of BC's tourism industry is based on natural phenomenon, things like migration events, natural spaces, places we hike and we observe wildlife. And if fish farming is damaging those species, then it's damaging our tourism product.
Government action is needed to regulate the aquaculture industry and transform it into a sustainable and safe industry.
The number one solution is for the government to listen to a lot of the good science that's being produced and some of the communities that have been against these farms for multiple reasons.
And the way that everybody can be a part of the solution is to
get educated. Get educated about fish farming, what fish farming is. Get educated not just about the pros about fish farming, but get educated about, even the negative aspects of fish farming, but get educated about salmon in general.
We talked to experts and activists at Thompson Rivers University, as well as at the Adams River Salmon Run that we attended in October. They all had the same advice, to get educated. Therefore, we engaged with our peers and made posters to increase awareness. We handed these posters out and displayed them on bulletin boards around campus. We hope our action will have an impact on the future of fish farming in British Columbia.